The nation's leader predicts a short election campaign in the run-up to the general election. Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Altaviz Muddings. Thanks so much for joining us this evening. It's always good to see you. It could be narrowed down to just weeks for the 2017 general election campaign. That, according to the nation's chief, who says time is of the essence and Bahamians ought to be ready. Traditionally, campaigns have run for months, but the Prime Minister has indicated that this one will be quick. We get the story tonight from Clint Watson.
With the release of the constituency's report this week, the 2017 general elections campaign has begun. So says Prime Minister the Right Honourable Perry Christie.
We're entering that stage now where the campaigning will obviously begin in earnest. It has begun already, I'm sure. Someone like myself will have to soon slow down in the office and go out on the streets. Because again, I'm probably the last one to respond to the needs of our democracy, and that is people touching you and being able to say, why didn't you do this for me?
And for the nation's leader, he's got some ground to make up of his own with the new boundaries for his Centerville constituency.
Mr. Ingram, when he redistricted, took me and put me south of Wolf Road, in part of St. Cecilia and part of Engleson. That has now gone back, and I've reverted back into a part of Grantstown. And so again, I have 1,000, 1,200 new voters that I have to go and familiarize myself with.
And time is a concern, as the nation's leader is not predicting a long campaign, but instead just weeks to convince voters.
No, I mean, if you call long 2-3 months, no, I think it's going to be an intense campaign. And I think there's still some developments to take place.
When you do the math, it adds up to only weeks of intense campaigning. You see, traditionally, Bahamian politics respects the Lenten season and suspends major campaign activities. Lent begins Wednesday, March 1st and runs until Easter on Sunday, April 16th. That period, removed from the political calendar, leaves 3 to 4 weeks if elections were called around the time it's been called for the last 3 cycles during early May.
There's still work we have to do, and I anticipate that Bahama will be opened. I expect to have you interview me in a newly opened facility with young Bahamians all around me working and smiling. I expect there to be a major push for Grand Bahama on our part to ensure that the economy of Grand Bahama, which is really challenged, is given sufficient hope.
So from now, the nation's leader says all systems are go.
The parties will be making their offering. I think the FNM even started advertising yesterday. And so, these things are happening. And in the meantime, as Prime Minister, I have the responsibility for governing. So I have to, as I'm thinking politically, I have to keep the country going.
Clint Watson, ZNS Network News.